Also, I don't mean to offend the children in here, but I'm going to compare Congress to children here for a second. If you tell your kid their bedtime is 8, you let them stay up till midnight, they will not take you seriously. President Trump signed an omnibus, and he didn't have the money for a full wall in there. And he said, I'll never do this again. And then he did it again, and he did it again. And you can go find a dozen times where he signed a CR or an omnibus and complained that it didn't have a wall in it. He could have vetoed it, okay? And the Democrats didn't have the votes in the Senate to override a veto. So he could have vetoed these things. And, you know, what Governor DeSantis has done, I think he's used the veto pen lightly, but he has used it. And you only have to use it a few times to be taken seriously. And if Trump had done that in the very beginning on the wall and said, this is my signature issue, do not offend me by sending me a bill that has no money for my wall in it, he would have got the money for the wall.
Now, what you just saw is Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massie during the campaign when he was supporting Ron DeSantis. Now, is there any wonder why Thomas Massie, of course, will be one of the ones screaming and standing up saying that he will not vote for the CR, the continuing resolution that's up to be voted on in the House of Representatives today? Now, what this CR does, the continuing resolution allows the government to stay open. It funds the government employees and keeps the Department of Defense funded and the key essentials. Another thing that this CR does, totally different from other CRs, continuing resolutions in the past, this one actually reduces spending, and it has the wording in it which allows DOJ to continue doing their waste, fraud, and abuse cut. There's also money in there for border security. So we've got the key essentials in there that allow President Trump and DOJ to continue restructuring our economy while keeping our essential government employees paid, our military people paid, our Defense Department budgets paid, until September, when it's time to do another bill. But at that time, President Trump will have the Biden economy totally flipped around, and we can start seeing prices go down and the economy, the wheels of the economy get to rolling again. But Thomas Massie, he's becoming identified, and I already knew this, but he solidified it by saying that he will not, I repeat, he will not support President Trump and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson's continuing resolution. Now, here's the kicker with that, because you might say, well, Brian, he's just a dedicated patriot that's sick of the wasteful spending, and he wants to stop it. And I would agree with you if, and only if, Congressman Massie if he had not voted for every other continuing resolution in the past. He has voted yes on every single CR that has been put before him, whether it was a Democrat-led House and Senate or not. But now we have President Trump, the MAGA movement, and conservative body. We control the three chambers. We got the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. And Thomas Massie now, for the first time in his career, wants to decide he will not vote for this continuing resolution, even though this one actually reduces wasteful spending and allows for those to do what they do without lower court judges impeding in the process and taking the Trump administration to court every time they dislike one of their alleged money laundering programs where their funds get cut off. They can't get taken to court and sued every 5 minutes. So this CR plays a huge role in our country really getting restructured and refocused. Now, Representative Massie, not only was he campaigning for Ron DeSantis during the campaign season, he is also the same individual years ago when the Tea Party was formed. As a matter of fact, let me show you that. The Tea Party, which was a group that was fighting against all of the high taxes that the Democrat Party was trying to bring to the American people. And I'll read this by D.C. Drano. Never forget, Uniparty at Representative Thomas Massie endorsed against President Trump the day after he was arrested in New York. That timing was not an accident. Now does it make sense why he protects Adam Schiff? And you know, any Republican protecting Adam Schiff cannot be trusted. He helped Mitch McConnell destroy the Tea Party, and now he's trying to destroy MAGA. Representative Thomas Massie, Kentucky, announced his endorsement of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Wednesday, just one day after former President Donald Trump faced criminal charges in New York. Congressman Thomas Massie advises Tea Party critics to lay off Senator Mitch McConnell. So as you can see, Thomas Massie is a Mitch McConnell rhino, okay? And that's all he is. And he's parading around and acting as if, you know, he's one of us. And he's not. Now, what he does do, he exposes anybody that's taking any money from any lobbying groups, which I agree with that. He and Rand Paul are two people that stand up and they're going to fight and push back against anything that Trump does that they don't like. Is it a coincidence that they're both from Kentucky? Is it a coincidence that they both are strong supporters of Mitch McConnell, who is the typical old school rhino Republican, which is will grandstand on the emotional issues, but any of the issues that really matter to making our budget worse or making our country safer or anything like that, they're in full alignment with the Democrat Party. But they choose those 1, 2, or 3 topics that they can grandstand in front of the cameras and show they're so different. We now know Mitch McConnell was hand in hand with the Democrats. He played his role as an antagonist, when in reality, they were working hand in hand. And we saw that at the end, as Mitch has been closer to him saying adios. We've seen him vote against everything that President Trump has put up, has sided more so with the Democrats than ever before publicly. And now we got Congressman Massie the same. Check out this article here. If you enjoyed this video and you like the content, do me a solid. Hit that like button. I'll never ask you for a cash out. I'll never ask for a super chat. But you hitting that like button, that is currency. It helps spread the video around. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. On this channel, the Real Politics Podcast, that's what we do. We talk real politics. So once you subscribe, hit that notification bell and select all. That way, you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Trump puts out the call to primary Massie for being a no on the funding bill, which he did. President Trump put the call out and asked for Thomas Massie to be primary because he refuses to go along with the CR. And like I stated before, he voted for and in support every single CR ever before. Okay? Let's see here. So let's check out this article. So it says President, let me make it bigger so you can see it. President Donald Trump indicated he is looking for someone to take on Representative Thomas Massie in primary challenge next year. Massie said he's a firm no on the House's continuing resolution that would fund the government through September. With House Republicans' slim majority, they can only afford to lose one vote should all Democrats vote against the resolution to keep the government open. And you know they are. The Democrats stay unified, good, bad, or indifferent. They lock in. And Republicans got to do the same. And they say, oh, it's kissing up to Trump. No, it is not. It is realizing that every time the Republicans allow ourselves to splinter, the Democrats love it. Because if the ball bounces back in their court, they don't play that whole public division. You will get destroyed inside of that party when you hurt the overall objective that they're trying to get accomplished. And the same thing here. Conservatives always feel like they're above that type of stuff. But we got to start holding some people accountable. It's not about kissing up to Trump. It's about realizing that we got to stay unified to get done what President Trump and what most Republicans want to get done. Yeah, everybody's not going to be happy, but I guarantee you it's better than anything that the Democrats were going to present. And we have to be prepared to counter that. Congressman Thomas Massie of beautiful Kentucky is an automatic no vote on just about everything, despite the fact that he has always voted for continuing resolutions in the past, Trump said in a post on Truth Social. He should be primary, and I will lead the charge against him. He's just another grandstander who's too much trouble and not worth the fight, the president continued. He reminds me of Liz Cheney before her historic record-breaking loss. The people of Kentucky won't stand for it. Just watch. Do I have any takers? Trump called Massie a third-rate grandstander who just wanted publicity for attempting to delay the pandemic-19 relief bill in March 2020. As a matter of fact, let me show you that when Massie stood up to oppose, now this was the bill for the pandemic, which turned out to really, help a lot of people and exactly what we needed. Check out Representative Massie when he was grandstanding for that also.
Mr. Speaker, I came here to make sure our republic doesn't die by unanimous consent in an empty chamber, and I request a recorded vote.
A recorded vote is requested. Those favoring a recorded vote will rise and remain standing until counted. An insufficient number having risen, a recorded vote is refused.
Mr. Speaker,
Is the gentleman recognized?
I object on the basis that a quorum is not present and make a point of order that a quorum is not present.
The chair will count for a quorum. Counted for a quorum is present. The motion is adopted. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. Pursuant to Section 7B of House.
So what happens is Massie takes these opportunities to grandstand in front of the American people and make people say, oh my God, you know, this guy is really, really awesome. He's really got it going on. But in reality, he just takes every opportunity to try to get back at President Trump. He's pissed off that DeSantis did not win. Okay. He's also the same person. Let me show you this right here. Wow. Thomas Massie said Trump is at fault for January the 6th. We now know why he's trying to stop the Trump agenda. Now, this is Massie. Kentucky Republican Thomas Massie says Trump is at fault for the deadly riot at the Capitol. So anybody acting like this man is just being super patriotic, no, he is pissed that Trump beat DeSantis. And he knows that if he publicly came out and acted like it, he would get exactly what he's getting now, which is primary. And the American people would flip against him because he's trying to stop forward progress. He's trying to be the next Paul Ryan. He's trying to be the next Mitch McConnell, which does everything they can to block Republican progress while acting like you're fighting against the Democrat progress, when in reality, you're helping them. And then when they regain power, he can continue his fundraising by making these grandstanding statements while doing absolutely nothing. Because with Trump in power, he's not able to fundraise. He doesn't have anything to be an antagonist against. But he found something. And remember, he voted for every other CR in the past. This is the very first time that he's decided he is not supporting a CR. Ironically, it's with President Trump, the same person who he blamed for January 6th, which is crazy when we all know President Trump said peacefully and patriotically. We all know that was Nancy Pelosi and the Democrat Party who wanted that to happen. We all know that Ray Epps, the quote-unquote associate of the FBI, was in the crowd telling people, hey, let's go, let's storm it the night before and the morning of. But Representative Massie, who was in those hearings, who knows the evidence, has the audacity to step out and say this. So yes, he deserves to be primary. He deserves to lose that seat. Matter of fact, check this out. This is in this past December with Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. This shows what type of loyalty or lack thereof Representative Massie has for the party. Check this out.
Given how he's handled this speaker, could you vote for him on January 3rd?
He doesn't have my vote.
So you won't vote for him?
He does not have my vote.
Will you change your mind?
I would take a Christmas miracle.
Why is that? Why doesn't he have your vote?
Because we just won the elections. We have a mandate, and he's giving away the farm. He's turned this thing into a Christmas tree. He's let people tack things on it. A 30-page bill has become a 1,500-page bill full of pork. And legislative changes to laws. Like there's patent legislation in this bill. It's never been through our committee on judiciary. I serve on the IP subcommittee. Like it's just ridiculous.
This man is not about make America great again. He's just not. He's about fundraising for himself. He's about grandstanding. He's got the support of Senator Rand Paul. Okay. He's a former DeSantis lackey who's pissed off that President Trump got into office. And we're sick and tired of these rhinos getting involved, messing things up when we finally got the opportunity. We finally got the ball in our court. People like him want to step in, make this for headlines in the media where they can say, oh, the Republican Party is in disarray again. And, you know, the Democrats feast on this. So now with him dropping out, because we have a very slim majority in the House, and with him being out on that, we can't afford to lose anybody else's vote. So thank you, Congressman Massie, for deciding to make your protest in this manner, even though you voted for every other CR in the past. And as a matter of fact, let me ask you, do you feel and agree that he should be primary? Or do you feel that President Trump should just let it go? I'd love to get your feedback on that. Matter of fact, leave it in the comments. But other than that, hey, listen, if you watched all the way to this point, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you for watching. Remember to like the video if you haven't already. Share the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm Brian Maxwell saying sincerely, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.